Mzansi. Welcome to tonight's live. Wait, let me put some lip eyes on quickly. Winter's moving the lips today. So, can you believe it? MIH 1.1.8 has finally been released. And we brought you Ask Mzansi. In my opinion, one of the best features that MIH has to offer. So right now it's just a chatbot, but definitely going forward in the future, we will expand its capabilities, and also not only expand its capabilities, but put Mzansi AI in other places across MIH instead of just only inside only inside or the inside its own package, for example. So we're going to have it across different places in MIH. This was laying the foundation for us to have to let that happen, or to enable us to let that happen. So today what we're going to do is sawubona guys. So I hope you downloaded MIH version 1.1.8. We just released Ask Mzansi, one of the best features inside MIH so far. So please check it out. So today what we're going to get up to, today what we're going to get up to is, again, we're going to go back onto the UI and UX grind. So there are a few other things inside MIH that we need to get sorted. That we need to finish up, just to modernize MIH just a little bit. So that's what we're gonna look at today, and I also want to show you guys what I got up to today during the day, and that was I was sorting out new text input fields inside MIH. So I know it sounds a little bit simple, or it's just creating text input fields, but how I'm creating it is making it easy for me to reuse the same code over and over again later on. And there's also some things that I had to do manually that I just realized that Flutter has some automation in place that allows us to automate some of the things like the validation and things like that. So I was just making MIH a little bit more modern, a little bit more better when using the different components or the different UI elements inside MIH. So before we continue, what I'd like to do is I'll flip my screen for everyone on TikTok, and I will share my screen on YouTube and the other platforms, and we will have a look at what the new feature or Mzansi AI is all about. So if you can see the screen right now, this is what MIH is. If you don't know what MIH stands for, MIH is Mzansi Innovation Hub. We are currently available on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store, and also the web. Just search Mzansi Innovation Hub. So as you can see, this is version 1.1.8. So let's look at the functionalities that 1.1.8 provides us. If we go back, you'll see that we have a new Ask Mzansi screen. So instead of it saying search MIH packages, it now says Ask Mzansi. Provides the same functionality where you can search for a package or a badge. Someone mentioned that these look like badges, so you can search for a badge to run the package. So if I search for profile, you'll see that it brings up both the Mzansi profile, your Mzansi profile, and the patient profile. So if we clear this, but if we want to ask it a question, what is a super app? And then press enter. And then you'll see, oh, damn it. So this is development mode, but I'll show you over here. So I'll ask it again, what is a super app? Super app. Enter. So you'll see that it tells me what a super app is automatically. I didn't have to open up anything. I just asked Mzansi, what's it all about? So I'll click on it, and then you will see that it does say read aloud. So we can click on this.
Hey there, let's talk about super apps. Basically, a super app is like a digital Swiss Army knife. It combines many different services into one single app. Think WhatsApp, WeChat, or Grab. They let you do everything from messaging friends to ordering food to booking rides, all within the same app. The MIH app is designed to be just that, a super app for your personal and business life here in Mzansi. Pretty cool, right? Would you like me to elaborate on any specific feature of the MIH app?
So we can close that up, and then we can just continue with the conversation here in the text box, right? So you can just chat with it at the moment. We are looking at bringing more functionalities to MIH. Another feature that you would see is if you're using MIH and a window appears. So Bona, well done on your app. Excellence. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jaman. Jaman, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I hope you downloaded MIH version 1.1.8. Let me go back. If you haven't, it's available right now on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and on the web. Just search Mzansi Innovation Hub. So I'm just showing you what the Mzansi AI is all about. You can ask it a question. You can ask it for help. And you can search for your packages profile. So it'll automatically search for you, right? So another feature that came with MIH is our new button. So we'll open up about MIH again. And if we scroll to the bottom of it, you'll see that these buttons are a little bit different. On TikTok, you can't really see it nicely, but on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, on the other platforms, you can see it perfectly right now. So if you click on it, let me try and bring it closer for TikTok so they can see. So if I hover over it, there'll be a slight color change. And then when you click on it, there is a ripple animation. So sorry, there was another question that was asked. Let me check what it is. This is from Jaman. Your app is done in Flutter, 100% done in Flutter. Let's look, Flutter. So we are using Flutter. Flutter is the framework that we are using for MIH. Why does it bring me a Flutter? Or let's ask Mzansi what Flutter is. Please explain what Flutter is. Question mark. Let's listen.
Hey there, let's talk about Flutter. Essentially, Flutter is a fantastic toolkit created by Google for building beautiful, natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop from a single code base. Think of it like this: you can use one set of instructions to build apps for Android, iOS, the web, and even desktop, saving you a ton of time and effort. It's known for its fast development, gorgeous UI, and performance. Does that make sense? Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect, like what makes it so speedy or how it works?
No, thank you, Mzansi. So that's what Flutter is. So yes, we are using Flutter, and that's why we have it across web, iOS, and Android. And that's how we can deploy features every single week for you guys. And that's because we're using Flutter. We only have to code once, and then we can deploy it to multiple different platforms, like the web, like iOS, like Android, right? So we are using Flutter as an app. Do you have any questions about Flutter or why we chose Flutter? Or any specific questions about Flutter in general? So that's awesome. Yes, what I was speaking about is if you click on here, you'll see that our buttons, I don't think you can see it nicely on TikTok, but if you hover over it, there'll be a darker color to show that you're hovering, and when you click on it, there's a ripple effect. I'll show you on the calculator where you'll see it a little bit better. So can you see the ripple effect, guys? So depending on where exactly you click, that's where the ripple effect comes from. If I click in the middle, it ripples out. From the corner, it ripples from that corner. So this is the new buttons that we brought into MIH. And these buttons don't only allow us to put in text like ABC, alphanumeric stuff, or numbers, but it also allows us to put in icons or icons and text together. I also wanted to use Flutter for apps we're designing. So Flutter is an extremely useful tool, I think, in my mind. It does have some drawbacks, like some tools, or Flutter is mainly, when they first created Flutter, let's go to pub.dev. When they first created Flutter, they created it specifically for iOS and Android. But then later on, they started expanding it to the other platforms. And because of that, most people, so because it's open source, a lot of people have packages. So you can see there's packages over there. I can search for any package. So let me look for local auth. So this is the authentication inside the application. If we open it up, you'll see that this is available for Android, iOS, macOS, and web, but it's not available for web, right? So I think that's because they mainly built it for these two platforms, and I don't know why it's not for web, but that's a lot of the issues that I've found while using Flutter is that some of the packages, the free packages that are available, are maybe only for iOS and Android, but not for web. So then you have to make your own plan, or you have to abandon that package and then go search for a different package. But most of the time, if we look at this Firebase UI localization, you'll see that it's web over there also. And another thing that I like about it is the package system that they have. So all of this is free to use. If I go to local auth, you'll see that the license is the BSD3 clause license, right? I'm not sure. We can ask Mzansi what exactly this license is. But most of the time they're under the MIT license. What is the license about?
Hey there, let's talk about the BSD3 clause license. Basically, it's a really permissive open source license. That means you can use, modify, and distribute the software, even for commercial purposes with very few restrictions. The main thing is that you have to include the original copyright notice in the license text when you distribute the software or a modified version. Want to know more specifics? You can find the full license text here, http.
Right, so it's an open source kind of license, but it has more, I think, restrictions, or it says very few restrictions on it. So that's what the license is. I think the best license out there is the MIT license. But I think they use this. I think Chrome also uses this license. Chromium, the Chromium project. So under the Chromium project is Android is underneath there. Chrome, the normal Chrome is underneath there. A whole lot of other softwares are underneath there. And the BSD license allows those softwares to have its own license. It doesn't have to follow the same license as the parent. It can do any other licenses also. Yes, so that was the new button that we were speaking about. So did you see the ripple effect? So the blue doesn't show so nice on TikTok, but if you have a look at it here, the purple one, you'll see the new effect. So that's the one, another feature that we added. The next one is, this is an old feature, but it was only inside the Mzansi wallet before. So this is a window, we call it a window inside MIH. So you can see the background is there, then we have a window on top of it. We have the close button, and we have our menu button on the top right hand corner. If we click on that, we have our list of things. Or previously, before updating to 1.1.8, you would see that there was a mismatch. Some windows looked different from other windows, and it was just a little bit messy. And that is me to blame, because I made improvements to the old window, and then I didn't change old code to look at the new, to use the new window. So that's what we did in this update. We aligned all our windows to use this new window of ours. If we go back, same thing with the button. Across MIH now, we all have the exact same buttons, or the new buttons are used across MIH. Then what is the other thing that we updated? Let's go to the Play Store. Oh yes. That's the other thing that we have. Sorry. So I spoke about Ask Mzansi. I spoke about the new buttons, and then the new search bar. So if we have a look, so this is the Ask Mzansi search bar at the top. But if we go to the Mzansi wallet, you'll see that there's another search bar over there. This one doesn't ask Mzansi, it's just to search your card. So if I search for more, it will filter out that card for you. Alright, so across MIH, wherever there's a search, there will, or you'll see the new search bar. So that's something we also aligned inside MIH. Next is the title. So you would have noticed, I don't have an old version of MIH here for you, but you would have noticed that above the search bar, there used to be personal home at the top over here. And between the profile picture and your tools on the top left-hand corner, there wouldn't be, it was just blank space over here. So I felt like I was wasting space inside MIH. So I removed the title from inside the body of the packages, the tool bodies, and I put it at the top left-hand corner. So now if we switch over to business, you'll see it switches to the business home and then the personal home. And that's across MIH. So if we click on our profile, we have settings. If we go to our patient profile, we have our details, we have notes, there's no notes available yet. We have documents, no documents available yet. And then we have claims and statements. So this is a good example. So previously MIH used to have a title over here above everything that came below, right? But this was taking up a lot of space. You can see if we get rid of this claim over here, all of this space used to be not used over here. So we deleted this. This is just a bug. I forgot to remove it. I'm gonna remove it in the next update. But then if we have a look, it now looks like this. Don't worry about the no document found. I'll find a better thing for you to display that. So across all the packages in MIH, there are the new package titles. This is to make it easy for you to understand that what page you're on. And when you swipe over, if you're using the mobile version, thank you so much, Jay, for the heart me. Welcome, welcome. And that's the one. Then next is the new buttons, new search title, Ask Mzansi. We just aligned it over here. And then there was a bug previously when it comes to clicking on your profile picture, specifically on mobile, because it uses a virtual keyboard. When you clicked on your profile picture and then you close this up, it would automatically trigger a search for you and the keyboard would pop up. That was kind of annoying, and we did fix that. We managed to fix that. So that's what MIH 1.1.8 offers you. Please feel free to download it. So the next thing that I wanted to discuss with you guys is, or I wanted to show you guys is, I started working on, in the theme of aligning stuff. I think I closed MIH. In the theme of aligning stuff, we are now going to tackle the text input fields, like this field over here. Let's move this over. Like this field over here, we are now going to align it with the new look and feel, like the buttons, like the search, like what everything else is looking like across MIH, just to make it a little bit easier for us and also for users to not complain as much about the UI. A lot of people have been saying it looks a little bit scummy, a little bit scammy, the website, because of what these UI elements look like. So let's have a look at this. So before I started anything else, I went on to Google. I didn't use Gemini this time, and I asked, and I was looking for some best practices for creating text fields. So if we scroll through this, there's a few sections over here. Clickability. So separating the background, or separate background from the text field. So you can see already from step 1, MIH is already failing this check, or this best practices. So compatibility is one. Then if we scroll down, we have corners. So should they be rounded corners or more pointy? So MIH, I think it was kind of pointy, which I think that's just a stylistic choice. It's not really something that bad, but they do say more rounded corners is better. If we scroll down further, they're saying something about labels. So this one over here, avoid using, okay, so this is labels. So the labels is, if you look on MIH, you'll see a username at the top over here. So that's the label for this text field. So they're saying don't use capital letters, only use proper, I think that's what is used, proper terminology. Mr. Yeager, welcome, welcome. So use the first letter capital, the rest lowercase, unless you have multiple words, then then you must capitalize each word. So MIH does have that. So we have a check over here. Then we'll look at the bottom, label and placeholder text. So this one over here, what is it saying? Never use placeholders instead of a label. Use static and floating labels. Okay, so another thing that MIH was doing wrong. We are using, let's say we remove this. This is our label. We're using this placeholder text, which is username, as a label itself, which is apparently bad UI practice. So we should make it either the label at the top and then you have your own placeholder text over here, or something like that, right? So that's something that we have to improve also. Then selected state. So this over here is if it's selected or not. Does it give you a visual representation that it's selected? Something like that. So autofocus on the first input field. So that's all right. But just to show something that, okay, you're on this text field over here and you are currently typing on this text field. Next we have a single column versus a dual column, right? So you have input on both sides of the screen in order for someone to capture. So MIH, we currently have it as single, but there's different places that have it as double also. Like this one over here, if we expand it a bit, okay, it's not double, but you see how it comes next to each other, like that. So I built it like that, but I didn't know it was a bad UI design. So that's what they said. It must be a single column, a line, right? Then if we carry on to the bottom, combine data fields. So like I think where it says name and surname, then it must be, instead of having two fields for that, it needs to be one field. So that's just so there's not so many fields that the user has to input in. I think this one I'll take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes if you just put address, someone will put nonsense in. But if you have it separated like this, it'll be a little bit easier for the user to type the correct information, because I want valid information, not garbage information, when you click on MI or when you're using MIH. We want actual valid information. And then optional required. So over here, so inside MIH, you would see that there's a little star next to the type of name. If we remove this, it should be more noticeable. You'll see that there's a star next to username. So that's to show that it's required, or if it's not there, then it's not required. I thought that was the way you do things, but clearly I was wrong, because they are showing this option. So if something is optional, they did say you can put a star over here, but if something is optional, you can put in brackets optional. And then if something's required, don't put anything at all, right? Instead of putting required for the required fields and leaving blank optional. So they also say make sure, there's it over here, avoid using any asterisks, since users might not understand what that means. I personally thought that this is a standard across the internet, but it's not. And we should avoid using this. And group text or group related fields. Okay, we do have something like that under the patient profile. So you'll see these fields are grouped, these fields are grouped, right? Even though they're not grouped like these, they are grouped together. So that's something we must look at across MIH and see what happens. But what I was trying to do, instead of grouping it into one huge form, I split things up. An example of that is if you go to the business profile. Previously, your business details were alongside your business user details, right? And it was just one long form, even though there was separation between the two. I felt like it was too much text fields on the screen for a user to deal with. So I did split them. So I think what I'm going to do is across MIH is split it like that. Instead of having too much fields in one screen, I'd rather split it across multiple screens. Then we have visual input constraints. Okay, cool. Okay, I get that. Makes sense. So if it's like months, so instead of having expiry date and having the user type everything out, you split up month, year, and the digits. Instead of having two fields, now you have three smaller fields. Let's see what question that was. So what do you think about putting your form into the same page module? Into a same page model. What is a same page model? What do you think about putting your forms into a same page? Am I not saying it correctly? What is a same page model? What is a same page modal? Page modal. I still don't understand what that is. Same page modal. Modal. Don't be silly. I think I have no idea what you're asking me, but I think later on, Mr. Yeager, we're going to look at what I've been working on, and I think it might answer your questions, but we're just not talking the same language at the moment. All right? I might be calling it something else, and you might be calling it something else. But once we're done with this list, I'll move over to what I worked on, and then we can discuss. Please keep this question in mind. We will discuss it again. And then passwords. So this one over here, I disagree with it kind of, because they're saying over here that when you're using or when you have a password field, you should have something over here to say show password, and then also show the user that it has uppercase or if uppercase is active or not. And then instead of having two fields for the user capture their to capture their information to validate that they're capturing it correctly. They're saying this is a better way. I disagree with that. I agree that I must have a show password button, but I want the user to type it in twice to make sure. Instead of just typing it in once, because what users will do, and if I was a user, I would do that. Just type in whatever I want to type in and then press submit. So I wouldn't recommend doing this. I would rather keep it as two separate fields for now. Then pre-filled. So this over here, I am working on something to sort that out for us. Autocomplete, no need for that at the moment. Placeholder, so placeholder information, I do have some placeholder information. Explain why, I don't have that inside MIH, but I didn't feel the need for it there at the moment. So you can see there's a whole lot of, what else is there? There's a whole lot of error messages, things like that. There's a whole lot of things that I didn't even consider when first creating MIH around text fields. All I thought of is I need a place for a user to capture information, and this is what I got, or this is what I created. This is what I created. Let's go to personal. This is what I created, right? But let me unveil what the new one looks like. So please let me know in the chat. You can say yes or no if you like it or not. So I like it, yes or no. Let's open up here. Let's go back. And this is the test version of MIH. This is what will be version 1.1.9 next week. So we'll click on the test package. And this is what the new fields look like. So we have our label at the top of the screen. If we start typing, it automatically tells you what's wrong at the moment, right? So it's required. It shows red that it needs to be required, or it's required. Then once you start typing, so you'll see keep it between 6 characters. But if I put a @ over here, you see there's more information now. So it's saying don't use an @. So this is some of the validation that it has for you, right? Making it easier. Let me know what you think. Then under the email, the exact same thing. Enter the correct email. And what makes this one nice compared to the previous one is I had to do this validations manually. and for each and every one I had to code for it. So it was a little bit tricky to do. But this one makes it so much more simpler. I don't have to say when you click on this button, go validate this text field. If it's fine, validate this one, validate this. I don't have to do that. All I have to do is click on this click me button, and then it automatically validates the things for me, right? But if we go, let's type a username, test. We have our password at t.com. Then we have our password. Same thing with the password, right? It's blocked over here, but this thing, don't worry about it. But it tells you, while you're typing it out, it'll tell you what you need. So if I type something, then it says, okay, my password, if I show this, my password needs to contain at least one uppercase. Let me add an uppercase. It needs to contain at least one lowercase. Let me put a lowercase over there. It needs to contain at least one of these special characters. Let me put an @ in. Now my password is valid, right? Then I have a number only. And you know what the beautiful thing about this new text input field that I've created, I'll show you now. This one over here doesn't take in any alphabets. It can only take in text. It's hard to show you now, but it'll only take in text. If I have, let me try and show on screen keyboard. No, I'll leave that now. But it'll only take in number input. And this is a multiple line thingy. So let me copy this, copy, paste. Is it working or is it doing nonsense? Okay, no, I think it's doing nonsense. Copy, paste. Yeah, so here's it over here. So it goes to multiple lines basically. So this is for like your bigger text, like the doctor's notes, right? The consultation notes. If we have a look at, I'm so foolish. Let me go to the patient profile. So you see this field over here. Thank you so much, Lindo in Tech. Shout out to Lindo in Tech for the heartbeat. So this is the field that will be multiple lines of text, right? It's this one over here that we're catering for. So that's what we currently made. So the beautiful thing about this is I'm using the exact same widget. Let me bring up the widget for you. So let's close this, let's close this and this. So and I'll open up the package also test so you can see what it looks like. So here's our form field, right? So you can see MIH text form field. That's the custom widget that what is that? React? No, it's Flutter. So we are using Flutter as a framework or toolkit. You can see we're using the @ or the dot file type, so that it looks very similar to JavaScript and Java, but it is Flutter. So this is our widget, our custom widget, and this one widget caters for all of these types of text fields, all of these text fields over here, whether it's multiple lines, whether it's number, whether it's a password, where we can toggle it on and off, whether it's an email, whether it's a username, whatever input we're looking at, this new MIH text field widget will hook us up. And I'll show you an example of this and how we validate things. So if you don't know code, please let me know. How long does it take to understand .flutter? Okay, let me flip my camera because I feel like that's a good question to ask. And how long did it take me? Okay, so when it comes to new languages, right? I think what we have to first understand is, do we understand programming, yes or no? That's the initial question that we need to ask ourselves. If you have never programmed before in your entire life, I think it'll take you, not forever, but it'll take you a little bit longer to learn the new tools, because it's basically learning a new language, learning how to write that language, learning to understand what the different fields and what the different properties and all of those different things have to offer, right? But because Flutter is an open source tool, or it's open source, so anyone can develop for it, anyone can view the code, and a lot of the community around Flutter can also provide you or builds code for you. And there's a lot of YouTube videos also, because it's, I don't think one of the most popular tools, but one of the popular tools out there for building cross platform applications, right? So that's the big thing about Flutter being cross platform. You code once and then deploy to the rest of to all of your platforms, right? So I think if you know Java, if you know JavaScript, you will pick up Dart extremely quickly, because the syntax of Dart is very similar to Java and JavaScript. Like there's semicolons at the end of the sentence, there's curly brackets, the if statements look the same, the for loops look the same, the while loops look the same, all of these things look the same. What will be tricky, or what I found was tricky to understand or wrap my mind around, but if you know React, if you know React or React Native, you should pick this up extremely quickly, because in Flutter it uses the concepts of widgets. So every single thing that you see on MIH is a widget. If you look at the screen itself is a widget. If you look at the profile picture, that profile picture is a widget itself. If you look at the button is a widget. The text field, it's a widget. So everything is a widget inside Flutter. So getting your mind wrapped around what widgets are, how they work, and the syntax of that, it'll start being very easy. In the beginning it was tough, but it became very difficult for me. So if you know basic coding syntax and data structure, so this is from Mr. Yeager, if you know basic coding syntax and data structures, learning a new language is relatively easy. 100% agree with you. So I believe that learning a new language or learning a new coding language is not like the thing holding me back from using this language. It's just that I need to spend some time. I need to program something in that language in order to get it. Just doing or watching some YouTube videos or doing a boot camp but not doing the exercises won't give you the skills that you need. You need to have a real world example. I believe you need a real world example, even if it's a small example. If you have a real world example and you use your new language to program in, then it'll be extremely quick. And if you know the previous and different language, you'll start linking things together, like, oh, this is how you use a string in this language compared to this language. Oh, I need to say string. It's called type safety. I think that's what it's called. It needs to be type safe in this language, but if you look at Python, for example, you can just declare a variable without saying a string variable. So those are the different nuances. Create projects, just code. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. So let's switch back to the code. So now I want to show you the implementation of one of the fields. So we'll look specifically here. I'll try and make this a little bit bigger for us. Yeah. So you can see this is my code for one of my buttons, right? This one button, I give it a color, I give it an input color, so this is the text color. So all of these things I declared myself. If you think those variable names are not good, please let me know. I can fix that. So let's see, your brother, you are good in this. I'm a beginner. So remember, Lindo, we all started off as beginners. So even if you look at me and you say, yo, this guy's an expert, it's just because I have more time doing it. I'm sure that you are better at things than me. So, and this will take, if you a beginner at programming and you know JavaScript, I think everyone loves learning JavaScript, and especially now that there's the App Academy thing that's going on. And a lot of people know Java, a lot of people know CSS, a lot of people know, not Java, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML now. Now that you have those basics, you can compare it to what Flutter is like, because I think the comparison between a widget in like the HTML world would be a div. A div is a widget in Flutter, div. So you'll just have to go through it. I'm in JavaScript path now, front end. I'm a beginner in front end development. I'm in JavaScript now. So I'm also a beginner in front end development. MIH is the first proper front-end development that I'm using, and that's why you can see that I'm super bad at what the best practices are. That's why we're trying to fix it now. 100% agree, Mr. Jaeger. All you have to do is practice. Practice makes perfect and makes things much easier, right? So you'll see that this is my username. This is the username field, but then I'm using the same thing. So if you see over here, it is MIH text form field. If you look at the bottom, here's another MIH text form field, but for email. The only difference between these two is the validators are different, right? Over here, I'm using a MIH validation service to validate email or to validate username. And then below here, I'm using validate email, right? This is also stuff I created myself. There's it over here. It's just more code. Nothing. This, I'm a little bit lazy to do. I don't really know regular expressions that well. So I use AI to assist me with regular expressions. I'm not even going to lie to you and say I'm the best at regular expressions. What is the purpose of the form? So let's go to this one over here. So let's scroll up. So we have an MIH form. So that's a good question to say, why do we have a form and form fields, right? So what Flutter, so this is a built-in tool just called form, right? And this built-in tool provides you with a whole lot of functionality. So it allows me to put my validation over here in my text form field itself, instead of having validation as a separate function. Like you see, I have test window over here. Instead of creating a separate validation window over here, then calling it on click of my button, because that's what I was doing previously. It's probably not the correct way, but what I was doing previously was when you click the button, it then does a validation check. After doing the validation check, then it would submit the form. But what happens when you use the MIH form or just the form function? Where is this? MIH form. It provides me with the ability to say validate, and all I have to do on the click, let's see, there's it over here. Here's my MIH button, right? And then you'll see on pressed. Now I'm checking the entire form and I'm saying validate every single field in that form. So it automatically does it for you. I don't have to say, okay, go check this form, then go check this, or this field, then check this one, this one, this one. It makes it way more complicated to do than just calling an if statement over here and then calling it a day. But for the user, what is it? What is the purpose? Oh, so there's multiple different places. Sorry, I didn't catch that. There's multiple different places across MIH. Like, it's basic, like for example here, right? I need users to capture their details. So I'm going to use the new MIH text form fields and then wrap this around a form, including the button. And then when I click on the button, it'll validate everything for me automatically. So the user won't really see it, but what the user will see is there's a new style of the field, right? I'm not sure if that answers your question, but it's just while improving the UI, I also took the opportunity to improve the back end to make it easy for me to code going forward. Because I feel like previously, or my previous implementation of a text form field or field, it was, I did it at the beginning of starting MIH, so I knew nothing about MIH. All I did was watch a YouTube video about text fields and just copy and paste that code from there and try to understand what's it all about. But there was lots of limitations with that implementation of mine. So I took the opportunity now to have a better, more robust, that's the correct word, more robust functionality with these text form fields, like the validation and like using one field. Because previously I had a separate field for password, I had a separate field for numbers, I had a separate widget for multi-line text, I had a separate widget for this, so everything had a separate widget. That's because I was a beginner. But now that I'm a little bit more advanced at it, that's why I was able to create one widget for everything. So What else? So yeah, this validation thing is quite nice, and it has that. I'll show you something. Let's go here. I think here's the right thing. Not there. There's it over here. So there's, just because I used a form, I was able to use a form field in Flutter. I don't know exactly what a form field is, but I was able to use a form field and then have the validator that I showed you in the previous one, and then have it set to auto validate. If I didn't use the form in the backend or the form field, I wasn't going to be able to do this automatically for me. All right. So that's one of the things. But before we continue with anything more, thank you so much, Irvin. Thank you so much, Irvin. So, what do you think of the new text input fields? Do you like them? Do you think so? What another thing that I was looking at, I don't know where I can do this. Let me try change it now. Focus border, color, input color. There's it over here. Dot success. Oh. So what happens now? What I change now is just to change the color when you're selecting the field. So you, again, on TikTok, you're not able to see it. Let me make it a little bit fatter for you. Yes, let me make it 5. Even though it'll be too huge now, you'll see what I'm gonna show you now. So do you see when you selected something, it'll show a green thing. I know TikTok's one is a little bit bad, but it's my camera also. It'll show a green thing, but if I click away, so do you like that? Should we have a where you click on something and then it shows like green where you are currently typing? Yes or no? Let me add a poll to the chat. I love these polls. So let me know yes or no in the poll. Custom, standard. Hey TikTok, so but let me know in the chat. The poll takes too long to do. Let me know in the chat. Do you want me to add this green stuff when you're typing? So say for example while you're typing, and then it turns to red. But then when you if it's valid, so let's say t dot, then it turns to green. I'm thinking that this is quite cool, but where is this thing? But let's change this to. You just gained a follower, bro. Thank you so much, Mash. Thank you so much, Matt. Good UI, yes. Thank you so much. We are coming along, but there's still a long way to go. Let's change all of these to 3. And do insert 3. So guys, let me know while I'm typing this out. Do you guys know what Vim is? VIM and Vim motions. So that's what I'm currently trying to learn myself. Let me know if you know what that is firstly, and if you are using it, how far along in the journey are you using Vim? So I'll show you. I'll go to my extensions. Where do VS Code extensions live now? Okay. Where is it? Where is it? So I think I'm using this one over here. Yeah. So this is what I'm speaking about. Not green though. Mr. Jaeger, what other color? I can choose whatever color you want. Green is just, I have that color already on hand. So so it was just easy for me to use. But what color would you like? I can choose any color over here. Let me know. Anyone in the chat, let me know what color. But yes, do you guys use Vim motions? Quite a journey, but I'm starting to love it. I'm starting to love it because I'll give you an example. So let me show you a better example over here. Right? Yeah, with this one over here. Say I want to copy this entire block of text over here, right? From a void until this curly brace. all I have to do is, if I'm inside the, you see, if I'm inside the how does it function, all I have to do is click YAP, and then you can see my cursors here. If I press paste again, I now pasted the entire thing. You can see there's a duplicate now. So this is what I'm starting to enjoy with Vim. It makes things easier. If I want to delete this thing that I just copied, I can just say DAP on my keyboard, DAP. So let's see, DAP. Yeah, I think it did it the first time. Yeah, it did it. So it's quite cool using Vim. It's a huge learning curve because when people explain what's it like, it is kind of crazy. Let me read some of your comments. Not green though. So Mr. Diego, what suggestion do you have? And anyone else in Mzansi, what color should we do instead of green for when a field is selected? Or rather, if it's valid, it should change color. It should change color and all it shouldn't change color at all, but only when invalid. So that's what it was currently like. So previously it wouldn't put green while you're typing. It would just be the standard light blue color. But then if something is invalid, it would make it red instead of the green color. So it was like that before. So what I want to know now is, should I leave it like that or add a different color to it? I am thinking, what other color? Let's do a color picker. Let's move this here. I'll switch cameras for the people on TikTok and the people on YouTube. Let me get back here. Let me get back here and back here. It's okay as it is for now. Okay, happy. So I will remove that color again. Where is it? Should be here. Should be here, and it will be focus over here. What is it? Widget something. Change widget dot input color. I think it was like this. Okay, so this is what it was like previously before I changed it to green. While you're typing, it's just blue. If it's invalid, it changes to red. But while you're typing, it's just blue. So I like these fields. Also, another thing that I wasn't able to get right because of my implementation of my input fields previously is the autofill, like when you're using Google's YouTube user. YouTube users, yes, sorry, yes, I'm live streaming on YouTube, on Twitch, on Kick, and also on TikTok. So it's not only on TikTok. It depends on what's your preference in viewing live streams, right? If you like TikTok, that's why I'm here. But the better experience, I won't lie, is over on YouTube and the other platforms, because let me show you over here. So this is what it currently looks like for those users. So you can see here's me. And you can see the code and everything over there. The reason why TikTok is not like that is because for some reason I'm not able to get the correct, I think it's called the stream key, so that I can put it into my streaming software to show you things. So that's who the YouTube users are. But yes, what I was saying is, you know, when I will give you an example. I'll give you a quick example. So, okay, so here's, this is the App Store Connect. And when I click on the text field, this pops up over here, right? When I click on it, it'll autofill my information. If I click on next, you'll see that, let me go email. You'll see that it autofilled my information over there. On MIH, it used to work on, or it worked fine on the web. But when it came to the Android version, it was giving some trouble. It wasn't really putting it in there. And it was my implementation, 100%. I looked up, I did some research while I was trying to figure it out. And it was because I wasn't using this text form field. and I wasn't using a, where's this thing? Oh, it's not here, and I wasn't using a form. Where is this? And I wasn't using a form, nor was I using a text form field. So what I'm hoping in changing this, it would automatically fix that issue for me and allow you to autofill information. Because I know that is the web and the Android app single code base. Yes, 100%. So that's what Flutter is all about. Let's ask Mzansi AI what Flutter is all about. So explain what Flutter is. So Flutter is the framework that we are using, and it uses a language called Dart. So let's listen.
Hey there, let's talk about Flutter. Basically, Flutter is a super cool toolkit developed by Google. It's used to build beautiful, natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop from a single code base. Think of it like this: you can write one set of instructions and have it run smoothly on Android, iOS, the web, and even desktop devices. It's known for its fast development, expressive UI, and great performance. Plus, it's a big part of the MIH app, helping us build awesome things. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of Flutter, like its key features or how it's used within the MIH app?
Right, so it's a single code base. I'll give you an example right now. I'll just zoom out a little bit. So it's currently running on an Android emulator right now, right? But if I stop this, so you can see it's not running at all. At the bottom of my screen, I'll switch over to, where's this? To Chrome as my environment. And then I have a specific run configuration for it, but I'll run it. And then we'll give it some time. And you should see it just opens up in the web. No funny business. The only thing that I have to change is the environment variables, because that is to do with, what is it? That's to do with, like, when you're using the Android emulator, it uses localhost. So don't worry about these keys and things. I don't really use them. But I'll have to, sorry, here's it over here. So you can see localhost at the top. But in order for it to work, I have to choose the right environment. So when you're using the web, it uses localhost. But when you're using the Android emulator, it uses 10.2.2.2 as localhost. So let's open this up. So you can see now I'm running localhost on the browser with the same code base. The same experience should be there. I just prefer, can you Google? Yeah, so it is a single code base. Let me stop this and go back to the mobile version. So sorry, Mr. Jaeger, you asking, can you Google mobile login forms or contact forms? Do you want me to Google something? Just for reference. So Google mobile login forms. Google mobile login forms. Google mobile login forms. Okay, definitely not this. Let's see images. So if your question is why don't I have, let me make this open image in new tab. If you're asking me why don't I have these things over here, it is with a purpose. I didn't want to rely on Google, Facebook, or anyone else's login. But let me know if that's what you are asking, if this thing is available. The reason why it's not there is because that I don't want to rely on other people's authentication methods. Oh, for visual representation, okay. So, I'm not sure which one you want me to look at. But please, I see we are running out of time now. As a comparison for best practice. Okay, so happiness, we'll jump onto that tomorrow. What do I use to host? I use the MIH server, our own facilities, and I can show you. So clear. So yeah, it's our own server. So if I go htop, yeah. So it's our own server running on our own computers. Thank you so much, Jay, for the roses. So yeah, it's running on our own computer, on our own hardware. Can you see those form fields don't take up the entire screen width? 100%, 100%, Mr. Jaeger. I fully agree with you. So, like I said, I don't know best practice before. That's why it's taking up the whole width. But what I've done with the new text fields, if let's go to this one over here, I've made a thing to say width. Let's make this 100, right? If we save and go back to our, oh my word, and reload this. So can you see? So we do have a parameter over there to make it a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger for us. So we are going to, tomorrow we can look at more best practices and we can come through. Can you see those fields? Yeah. So we do have the ability to make it smaller and not full screen anymore. Remember that was way back when we were novices at Flutter and UI and UX and all those nice things. But we do have the ability, we're laying the foundation for greatness now. So we do have that ability to change it. Instead of full, we'll add some padding on the sides just to make it a little bit, look a little bit more pleasant for us, both on the web and on thingy. On the web and on the app version. But thank you so much everyone for the live today. I really appreciate it. I like the conversation. I like the questions that you ask. You should allow guess. It's frustrating having to type. Uh, okay, I get what you're asking now. I'll definitely see how to do that. I'll definitely look at how to do that and how to incorporate that in the lives. Because I definitely think that it would be nice to discuss and chat with everyone. But I am new to live streaming also. And I want the same experience for the people on TikTok, to the people on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, right? So if we do it over TikTok, then the people over on the other platforms are going to lose out. But I do agree that that's a great idea and we'll definitely get that sorted. But thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll look at implementing. So we just looked at it as in our test package, right? That's just figuring things out. Tomorrow I'm going to try and add them into different places and then we'll discuss like the fit and finish, like the padding on the sides, the difference between desktop and mobile mode, and all of those different things. But thank you so much once again, and please, if you haven't downloaded MIH now, version 1.1.8 is available on the web, the Play Store and the App Store. Just search Mzansi Innovation Hub and you'll find it there. Thank you so much everyone, and let's keep working hard, Mzansi. TikTok being TikTok, checking if I'm not a robot. Bye guys.